Today, Oliver Dowden, stepping in for Rishi Sunak, decided to break the scales of hypocrisy on everything from the COVID inquiry to his attacks on Labour. In recognition of National Carers Week, he said,
"Join me in paying tribute to the huge contribution unpaid carers make to our society."
Yeah, you really care about carers when your Prime Minister said this.
It's not just about how much people are paid.
Would you do a job as a care worker for £18,000 a year?
Well, the job I'm doing is making a difference to the country as Prime Minister.
And on the COVID inquiry,
we have given it all the financial resources it needs so that we can learn the lessons from the pandemic.
Yeah, but you're also hiring lawyers to stop the COVID inquiry from seeing your WhatsApp messages, which means you're spending our money to help the COVID inquiry find the facts, whilst also spending our money to hide facts from the COVID inquiry. Now, I don't use the phrase financial black hole often, but can you see the problem there? But this is his defense.
Well, we will provide the inquiry with each and every document related to COVID.
Have you ever been prosecuted for a crime and the police let you decide what was relevant to their investigation? No? Sounds like it's insane? Not to mention, any woman who's ever reported an assault will tell you that they don't exactly get to choose which bits of their phone the police look at. And they're the victims in that situation, whereas we know that this government was breaking laws left, right and centre throughout the pandemic. And here are some of the examples of things that he thinks the inquiry shouldn't be allowed to see.
Could cover anything from civil servants' medical conditions to intimate details about their families.
But we've already seen that the personal relationships of government ministers can be extremely relevant to whether or not they were taking the pandemic seriously. Isn't that right, Matt Hancock? And when it's pointed out that the Tories have lost £21 billion of taxpayer money due to fraud, he says,
"You are actually putting more resources in throughout this year to tackle fraud."
No, you don't get to be on the good side of the issue of fraud when your government excludes fraud from its crime statistics. And you fraudulently gave away billions of our money during the pandemic because you awarded 99% of your COVID contracts without doing any competition process to make sure those companies could actually do the job. For example, Tory Lord Michelle Mone, who made £29 million off a PPE contract for PPE that didn't even work. Now, I'm no huge fan of Labour, but keep in mind the £21 billion of taxpayer money that the Tories have cost us when you hear this.
I find it extraordinary that she should lecture us on value for money for the taxpayer, when I understand she has now purchased 2 pairs of noise-cancelling headphones on expensive.
Two whole headphones! Tell me, Ollie, did they cost £10.5 billion each?
No, so shut the fuck up.
And on the economy?
Again, the OECD upgraded our growth forecasts.
Yeah, but they also said that our inflation is worse than anywhere else in the G7, which means that the cost of living is getting worse here than anywhere else in the economically advanced world. And the hypocrisy of his attacks on Labour's economic plans is wild, saying that they would
drive up borrowing.
You mean like you are?
Push up interest rates.
The Bank of England says that Brexit is making inflation worse, and that same Bank of England is raising interest rates to fight inflation, which means that your government, Oliver Dowden, is to blame for the high interest rates.
Adding £1,000 to everyone's mortgage.
And again, the Bank of England says that Brexit is making every single household £1,000 poorer. And after what Liz Truss did to mortgages, I would really stay quiet on that topic if I was you. Like I said, hypocrisy off the scale.